Sony Animations is cloudy with a chance of meatballs, follows an inventor in the small town of Swallow Falls who creates a food fabricator. But when it comes to this charming story, which characters land on our sweet side and who could we consider some spicy sinners?
Ah! Mr. V, you're real!
This is the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs franchise, Good to Evil. As usual, we'll be starting with the most noble character and working our way down to the evil. These characters are the good. Earning our gold medal of good is Fran Lockwood. Fran, Flint's seldom-seen mother, only makes a brief appearance at the beginning of the first film. However, she leaves quite the first impression because she helps Flint in many ways during his childhood. Fran pushes him forward and holds him up whenever he feels down, confirming that he can be a scientist as he dreams to be.
The world needs your originality, Flint.
Unfortunately, she passes away before the main events of the first or second film. Earning our silver medal of good is Manny. Manny is Sam's cameraman and a major part of both films. He serves many purposes, but his main one is being an ally and helpful tool to the rest of the crew. He shows that he has many skills, such as being an ace pilot, a mechanic of some sorts, and also a surgeon.
I am also a particle physicist.
Not to mention his skills as a cameraman that started him off altogether. He becomes a massive help to the entire squad and protects everyone that he can. Manny is by far the best main character because he'll do anything to protect his friends.
Wow, you're a lot better than me.
Earning the bronze medal is Samantha Sam Sparks. Sam is a meteorologist who comes to Swallow Falls when the Fuldesum I starts producing food-based rain, finding it to be great for her business. However, once she and Flint start to realize it's malfunctioning, they try their best to spread the word and handle it, even if it doesn't go as planned. Sam helps Flint shut it down the best she can, despite being in immense danger at every turn. In fact, she nearly dies trying to help Flint due to her peanut allergy. After Sam and Flint become an item, they decide to start a project together called Sparkwood with their friends, even if it doesn't go as planned either. Sam then assists Flint with his mission to retrieve the Fuldesum despite the potential problems along the way. She quickly realizes that most of the food-based animals are actually harmless and only attack the live core items because they're aware of the danger. Sam does her best to help where she can and nearly faces death multiple times because of it. In a similar vein, we have the next character to grace our list, none other than Flint Lockwood himself. Flint Lockwood is an inventor who resides in the town of Swallow Falls and dedicates a majority of his life to inventing things he believes to be useful, despite the bullying he endures. His most significant creation is the Fuldesum defer,
Limited officer?
capable of turning water into food and potentially curing world hunger and famine. After a mishap causes food to fall from the sky, he's hailed as a hero by the many people of Swallow Falls. Eventually, he must halt his invention despite the danger that poses, potentially sacrificing himself if not for the help of his many rat birds. In the second film, Flint's approach to work at LiveCore, fulfilling what appears to be his lifelong dream. Tasked with obtaining the seemingly dangerous Fuldesum defer to save the world, he discovers that this was merely a ploy by Chester V to exploit the technology and creatures for himself. While Flint is inherently a good guy, he can make questionable decisions driven by his need to be liked by others or his hero worship of Chester V.
Chester, I'll find the machine. I invented it. I can fix this.
Now let's round out the good section of our list with Calvin Cal Devereaux. Cal, the son of Officer Earl, comes across as a seemingly good kid. Despite occasionally making fun of Flint and giving off some vague bully vibes, Cal genuinely cares for his parents. Throughout the film, he's seen trying to be a good kid for them, even as he indulges in sweets and ends up causing himself to fall into a food coma. In the second film, he reappears, attempting to assist Earl where he can, although he's pushed aside due to his young age. Nonetheless, his consistent propensity to help those around him proves that Cal's a good-hearted kid, deserving this spot on the list. With the good character section wrapped up, we now dive into neutral territory. These characters fall into the gray area. Starting off this section, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Officer Earl Devereaux. Earl, the loud and proud police officer of Swallow Falls, dedicates most of his time dealing with Flint and his many inventions. Often portrayed chasing down Flint or trying to prevent him from causing problems, Earl, while usually correct, tends to be somewhat harsh on Flint. Notably, he never actually arrests him, indicating a degree of compassion. Earl deeply cares about his son and will go to great lengths for him.
Son, you can't argue with yellow police tape.
Such as begging Flint to drop ice cream for Cal's birthday. He's willing to sacrifice everything for his son, and eventually develops a growing respect for Flint, even considering him his friend. Joining Flint and the crew to the island in the second film, Earl contributes with his brute strength and powerful body. While Earl is undoubtedly a good guy, the recurring theme of hunting down and harassing Flint does slightly tarnish his character. Next on our list is Timothy Tim Lockwood, also known for often putting down Flint. Tim, Flint's father, is renowned for being a big, gruff guy who clearly struggles to understand Flint and his inventions. Despite his best efforts, he differs significantly from his wife and son, both of whom are science enthusiasts. Tim is a man who cares deeply about his loved ones, although he finds it challenging to express his emotions. This completely makes him an intriguing character to dissect, as some aspects of his character remain hidden beneath his bushy brow and big mustache. In the second film, Tim makes it clear that he would have preferred to stay home despite potential complications.
Born on the island, and I want to die on that island.
However, he also expresses a strong desire to help Flint save the town and goes against Flint's wishes to stay on the boat. Ultimately, Tim saves Flint and assists him in saving everyone else. Though, despite his positive actions, Tim's ongoing issues with Flint and his inventions make it challenging to rank him higher. The next character on the list is Barry. Barry is an anthropomorphic strawberry, classified as a foodimal. Initially, he attempts to prevent Flint and the team from acquiring live-core items, being well aware of their danger, constantly causing problems. Barry's primary motive is to ensure that Flint understands the potential hazards. While Barry is ultimately a good character, the continuous misbehavior he has turns into more of a nuisance than a help by the end of the day. Nevertheless, he plays a pivotal role in assisting Flint in saving his friends and contributes to the demise of Chester V, both of which are unequivocally positive outcomes. Unfortunately removed from the second film's plot, our next character is Joe Town. Joe is a townsfolk who makes recurring appearances throughout the first film as a representative voice for the town. He emerges to crack jokes, laugh at Flint during bullying incidents, or otherwise embody the voice of the town in various ways. Although he doesn't have an extensive amount of screen time, the glimpses we get depict Joe as seemingly a good guy, complete with a fake beard. While Joe is observed laughing at Brent's bullying of Flint, he doesn't engage in much else that would classify as negative behavior. He also makes a brief appearance in the second film, driving the bus that takes Flint to LiveCore. If he'd retained his intended place in the second film's story, he might have ranked higher. However, based on his existing portrayal, this is where he lands on our list. Speaking of landing, none made a more explosive entrance than the Full-Decimdifer, the Flint Lockwood diatonic super mutating dynamic food replicator. It's Flint's best invention, capable of turning water into food. Its potential to be a cure for world hunger makes the machine a positive creation regardless of how you view it. However, its programming is not flawless, and it eventually starts generating sentient food, instantly causing massive problems and inflicting untold damage. Despite the chaos it causes, we can't hold it too harshly accountable, as it was merely following its programming and attempting to protect itself. In the second film, it's shown creating living creatures that desire nothing more than to live peacefully amongst themselves and worship Flint Lockwood as their Inwu. Despite its good intentions, the Full-Decimdifer ranks pretty low due to the significant damage it causes, albeit unintentionally. With the gray area wrapped up, we now arrive at the dark side. These characters are the bad to evil. Kicking off the bad section of our list is a mischievous little monkey known as Steve. Steve is Flint's pet monkey and a lab partner, equipped with a thought translator that enables him to speak.
Is that a monkey thought translator? Steve!
Despite being a monkey, Steve often acts on instinct or just for the thrill of it. While he can be controlled to some extent due to his understanding of English and commands, Steve still disobeys orders when he pleases, causing chaos at inopportune moments. Fortunately, Steve channels his chaotic tendencies for good, using his powers to create pranks with positive outcomes. Otherwise, he might have forced himself much further down the list. However, not everyone starts out on the good side, and for some, like baby Brent McHale, a little time is needed. Brett was once the main bully of Flint and also the mascot for baby Brent's Sardines, a significant tourist attraction, consistently bullying Flint and anyone he deems to be below him in the hierarchy even during their childhood. Brent is portrayed as a character primarily concerned with status.
I'll be using these bad boys to help save the town.
In the middle of the film, he realizes he's no longer the talk of the town and becomes indignant. However, a pivotal change in personality occurs when he later befriends Flint and the two make amends. The transformation is what prevents him from falling any further down the list. Brent ultimately attempts to sacrifice himself to the chickens to save Flint, and although he does survive, it doesn't diminish the significance of his action. While Brent remains a bit of a rude character, earning him the Pride Medal on our list, his face turn ultimately saves him from a lower ranking. Another character who makes a turn towards the good side still earns our bronze medal of bad, Big Barb. Barb is a talking orangutan who essentially worships Chester V because he gave her the ability to speak by putting a human brain in her head. Throughout the film, she's bossed around and follows any orders given by Chester V.
Chester's my best friend.
Including engaging in criminal activities such as kidnapping, lying, and showing continual overzealousness because she believes she's superior to Flint's friends. Barb essentially just follows the commands of the big bad, and still, her compliance doesn't absolve her of her many criminal actions. Throughout the film, she's complacent and shows no concern for the death or destruction of sentient life simply because Chester V deems it a good thing to do, something unexpected. Barb is somewhat saved in our ranking because she ultimately turns out to become a hero by the end, directly leading to Chester's demise. Despite her past actions, Barb transforms into a positive character, earning her the bronze medal of bad. Our silver medal, always true to his nature, and it's no surprise that Bruce Campbell himself, Mayor Susan Shelbourne, ranks next. Susan Shelbourne, the mayor of Swallow Falls and a little person with big dreams, aimed to turn Swallow Falls into a tourist paradise, a dream realized with the invention of the Full-Decimdifer. Easily earning the Envy Medal, Susan is envious of other places around the world and people larger than him. Throughout the film, he incessantly badgers Flint to use the machine in ways that could potentially overload it. He demands food rain 3 times a day, every day, making it clear that he cares more about the machine than he does Flint. Flint.
3 meals a day, every day for the foreseeable future, and in 30 days.
Despite this, Shelbourne manipulates Flint for his own ends. Susan abandons his people as soon as he can and demonstrates a lack of concern for anyone but himself. He effortlessly secures our gluttony medal as he becomes extremely large due to the excessive amounts of food he ingests, prioritizing food over human life. This self-centered attitude and disregard for others place him low on our list, but nowhere near as low as the individual who claims our gold medal of bad. There's no competition when it comes to the villain to end all villains in this franchise, none other than the creator and CEO of LiveCore, the ever-energetic man of noodles, Chester V. Chester V is the overarching antagonist of the duology and the primary antagonist in the second film. Throughout the film, he makes it abundantly clear that he only cares about himself and the money he can accumulate from his highly popular food bars. Human life seems inconsequential to him unless it can directly benefit his selfish pursuits.
Ah! Mr. V, you're real!
He is more than willing to sacrifice his think-quanaughts, including Flint, if it means achieving his desires, even when he knowingly sends Flint to Swallow Falls, a perilous endeavor. Chester V is a manipulative mastermind, easily manipulating Flint with hero worship and using him against his better judgment. Chester's menacing presence stems from him being a sociopath, devoid of any care for others or their feelings. Chester V coldly plans to shred and kill living sentient beings solely to create superior food bars, essentially abandoning Barb as nothing more than a mere pet. Chester V effortlessly claims the gold and our greed medal because at the end of the day, he only cares about himself and his wealth. This is why he ranks so low on our list. You know, the very bottom.